in 2018, in August, I had just started my grad school program for counselor education. And I had my first week of classes. I was just coming off of my senior year at UCF. I graduated. That was my best year in Madden 18. We did very well, had a great time, great opportunities, meeting great people, and a lot of success. So going into Madden 19, I had a little bit of pressure on me. I wanted to make sure people knew last year wasn't a fluke. So we had a tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, after my first week of grad school classes. So I drove up there, stayed with some of the guys that I've been connected with through Madden. And we were just finishing the round of 32. I won my game, so I was doing well at the time. But almost immediately after, one of the competitors started shooting up the tournament, started airing it out. I just heard gunshots, and I didn't know what was going on. My instincts took over. I just ran. I found my way hiding in the bathroom with about 30 other really, really scared people, of course. And I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. I texted my mom, my dad, my girl, whatever happens, I love you. I really thought it was it. And thankfully, I'm standing before you today, so we made it out, thank God. As I was able to leave the bathroom, I saw two of my friends and fellow competitors, unfortunately, are no longer with us. And it was quite the experience. My life was forever changed, and my world was flipped upside down. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to act. And I was basically a whole new person, and not in a good way. I didn't recognize who I was. As I said, I just started grad school, so right after that, my parents came and picked me up, so I'd go home, go to a safe space, and just recover for a little bit. So I took a week off of school. But I ended up going back because I started a commitment and I wanted to finish it. And it was tough. I didn't know what was in store for me. I immediately, with the great people at the UCF CAPS Department, Counseling and Psychological Services, I received counseling immediately, diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and the next long bit of time, multiple years, every day was a fight, just to get out of bed in the morning, to go through the motions, to try to enjoy the things that I once enjoyed. And it was hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And it seemed like it just would never end. It seemed like that struggle there was just a permanent dark cloud above my head. And there were moments where I thought I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't want to end my life or anything like that. I don't want to put that out there because it wasn't the case. But I just wanted it to stop. I wanted my old life back. I wanted the person who I was before. And that was my struggle for a long time. I used the counseling services at UCF for around 2 years until I graduated. Then I used BetterHelp counseling as well for an additional year to help get those coping skills, get emotionally healthy again. And yeah, man, it was the worst experience of my life by far, not even a close second. But making it out on the other side, I've learned so many lessons that I can share with you and that I can share with other people. Because I always knew that, my purpose was to help others, specifically, adolescents, young people, even people in their early 20s, 30s. And I remember, I believe it was my girl's mom who told me, right after the shooting that, this experience, no matter how awful it is, and as I've shared, it was awful, this experience is going to make you a better counselor. It's going to make you more empathetic, more compassionate. You're going to be better able to connect with other people and help them with what they might be going through. And of course, man, at the time, yeah, I conceptually understood that might be the case, but right now, man, I'm struggling. I didn't know, I could barely handle myself. how was I supposed to help other people in that state? So I was learning all about how to be a counselor and all these skills, all these techniques, and that you need to seek out help and you need to, be intentional with that work you're putting in on yourself. But when I was feeling it, I just wanted to curl up and not seek that help like so many of us do. We feel like we have to go through it alone, or we don't want to bother somebody. But you're not a bother. You need support around you. You need to develop a support system to get the help that you need. I wouldn't be here today without my family, my friends, my girl, my classmates, everybody who was in my life at the time then and since. And having that support system around me taught me a lot. And the skills, the coping techniques, just the experience of life that I've been able to live since then has equipped me for the future. As I said at the beginning of this, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I was able to build up that resiliency that I so desperately needed because, we've all been through things in life. And it don't get easier. You just have to increase your capacity to deal with things. And, I was a kid from the suburbs. Nothing really that bad, quote unquote, happened to me before that. I needed that resiliency. I needed to learn those skills, to have those experiences. And now, I'm not going to act like I deal with everything perfectly now. Like, that's not the case at all. I still struggle. I have moments of weakness. I have moments where I need support. But because I developed that foundation, because I developed those skills, I'm better able to deal with everything in life. And I understand that it is a process and that you can make it out to the other side. Because when you're in it, man, when you're in the depths of whatever abyss you're going through, it don't seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel. It really doesn't. And that can consume a lot of people. I wish I could tell you that everybody else who was at that event that day is doing well, is thriving, has had the same experience as me, where their capacity to deal with things is larger. A lot of them didn't have that. They're still struggling. They have things that they weren't able to deal with. And, I'm not here to cast aspersions on them and say that, they're weak or anything. But that's what can happen if you don't build up your mental and emotional resilience to deal with things. You need to rely on your support. You need to seek that help. You need to build up those skills. That way, as you level up, as you get a wife, kids, find it like you own a business, you have a home, you have things that you never thought could happen to you, and now you have to deal with it. Are you ready for that? You need to build that up. And, now that I've made it to the other side of dealing with those issues, I can confidently say that I have the tools to deal with whatever's in front of me. And I know it's not going to be perfect. You're going to feel the emotions. You're going to experience the hardship, that struggle. But you'll be better equipped to deal with it. So that's what I would say would be the biggest thing that I've learned in my experiences. And I will have you know, I took a year off competing, but I did end up going back and competing on the big stage. I traveled to San Francisco. I actually won the Buffalo Bills Club Championship, so I was able to represent for Bills Mafia. I'm a Giants fan, don't get it twisted. But we still claim New York a little bit. But yeah, man, you can get through whatever happens to you in life. What doesn't kill you definitely makes you stronger if you put in the work to get through it. So that's why I wanted to share with you all a little bit about me. And that's why I do what I do, to help the youth, to help other men. Because a lot of men, we We want to get our fitness gains, we want to get our money, which are important things. But you need to build that emotional piece as well. Because if you don't have that, as you level up, you may not be prepared. And I'm so glad that I've been able to better connect with students, with clients, with friends, with other people. And it really brings me a lot of joy and fulfillment that such a terrible thing that happened to me has been able to inspire other people, to connect with them, to make them feel like they're not alone in dealing with hard things in their life that we all experience.